RogueTech, tread not. Welcome back to RogueTech. I'm going to be moving way up to clan space for a flashpoint, and I thought what we would do is a little bit of a role play introduction into this long trip up. There will be no fight in this mission, or this episode. We're just going to do this little piece, and then we'll do the transition from the current location of Pricks all the way up to Stratamechany. So I have the advantage of having a couple of voice actors in the house at the moment, and so they're going to help me out. So let's give this thing a try and enjoy. Welcome, people. Let's get this command staff meeting started. I've had you all working on many tasks, both short-term and long-term, of which many may have seemed odd. It is time to share with you why. When I first started this Merc company, we were focused on staying financially afloat while keeping all of us alive. About a year ago, we met Mama Bear, the AI from the Star League era. It revealed to us information about Kerensky's exodus. Mama Bear has recently communicated to me more details that the clans have come from the area Kerensky took the exodus. We are going to follow that exodus.
Yes!
This trip is expected to take 6 months. We have been preparing for that flight since we first rescued Mama Bear. Yang, report.
In an effort to reduce our maintenance expense for this long trip, as requested, I've scrapped nearly all our mech parts in storage. I've also cut back on the components available for installation to those we're more likely to need. This has resulted in a 20% reduction in our monthly expense needs. All mechs have been secured in the mech bay, and final repairs from the last battle are in progress. I've transferred all the resulting credits from the sale of the parts to Darius.
Farah, status?
The Argo was in pretty bad shape when we pulled her from that moon a couple years back. The mech techs and I have been working non-stop since to repair and upgrade all her systems. All the power conduits have been replaced with high-capacity ones, all structural damage has been repaired and reinforced, the drives are fully functional and ready for high-G burn. All mech bays are restored with automation included. We have even upgraded all the living spaces and common areas for a sustained voyage. The Leopard dropship is fully repaired and up to date on all maintenance. The old girl is ready to stretch her legs.
Darius, are we ready?
We've loaded enough supplies into storage for the projected long-term maintenance and associated consumables. We can augment our food stores with our hydroponic gardens. Morale should stay high for the trip now that we've upgraded all our amenities. The arcade has all the new titles, the library is stocked with both training material and recreational books. The bar has a full stock as well, assuming we don't party every night. However, I regret to inform you that the position of pool boy has not yet been filled for the low-G pool. Perhaps we could get Scrub to do it.
Not likely, Yang.
Focus, people.
Okay, with the credits Yang got clearing out the stores added to our accounts, we have enough to cover the company expenses for 3 years.
I remember when we were scrapping parts to stay afloat for another month.
How about medical?
We were able to get all the medical supplies we needed from Pricks. Now that Farah has the hospital pod back online with all the medtech staff positions filled, we are ready to go.
Samir, what are you able to tell us about this trip?
It will be 18 hyperspace jumps to the edge of Intersphere's space. That will be our last chance to get gas before we head into the dark. I estimate 36 more hyperspace jumps until we reach the location Mama Bear has given us. Since we have the stores for 3 years, should this go sideways, we have more than enough to get back again. Provided the Argo can hold up, of course.
She'll hold up, Samir. Not to worry.
I am paid to worry, Farah. Since I do worry, should I point out this is where we think the clans came from. So we are more than likely to meet resistance that will tax our reserves.
Since when has a challenge ever slowed us down?
Well, there was that. Stow it, Yang. We are ready to go, Commander.
Samir, set course. Back to work, people. Well, with our course set, we're going to be heading off now to jump point 335. It's about halfway into clan space. I wanted to stop here to see what kind of things might be here. All of these jump points in between clan space and inner space are just listed as jump point, and most of them have token population. They look pretty barren, so I'm kind of curious, is there a store? What might be in the store? What kind of missions are there? So we're going to stop halfway through just so we can see that. The other part of this is once we get up here into clan space, we're going to do the flashpoint, and then we're going to see what other things are going to be available. But the first part of this, I went through about 3 months of jump time here. And for the first month, financial report month, into the month just prior to getting into the jump point of 335, I scaled down my financial expenses from generous down to restrictive. We're just sitting in there. We're not spending money anywhere. It's like, why do I need to spend a bunch of money to keep morale up when you ain't going anywhere? Go get a drink at the bar. Go jump in the pool. Go have some fun. Go something like that. I didn't run into any interesting events through here, so we're not going to stop on any of those to take a look at them. We're just going to keep going through. And you kind of see now I went back up to generous because I'm anticipating getting into jump point 335 on this pay scale. And so we'll see how we do with this. Once we get in here, we'll kind of take a look and see. There was an awful long trip in system here. It was like 20 days travel to get in system. But now that we got in here, I wanted to take a peek at the store to see if there was a store and what they might have. And there is no store. Nothing in here. I can obviously sell my stuff here. The token folks here are more than happy to buy some stuff. I'm not sure where they're getting the credit from, but hey, the hiring hall. I don't understand why there are even people here. None of them are good, so I pass on all 4 of these before we take off of this. Again, I can see why there might be some pilots here that aren't all that impressive, but I'm surprised that there are that many pilots here at all. So, taking a quick look here at the contracts, they're all pretty low contracts. There's nothing here I really want to get to. So we're going to head back out of system and go all the rest of the way to Strata Mechany. And I'm going to go ahead and, on the first opportunity, I'm going to turn down my my financials again, down to restrictive, so that I can save just a little bit more cash. I'm saving like 500,000, so I'm going to save about 1.5 million in the total time frame. But again, this is 6 months. You couldn't do this in a campaign. The campaign is 1 year long, and to spend 6 months moving from one section to the other just cripples you for your campaign score. So you wouldn't be doing this during a normal campaign. But you could certainly do this, as I am, during your regular gameplay or after you finished your campaign. So the trip is expensive, but it's not prohibitively so. I mean, I was up to about 100,000 before we left, and I'm going to think I'm going to be around 88 once we arrive. I got most of that by scrapping out all the components and mech parts in storage. I only kept a few lamb pieces and a couple of the assault plus weight stuff, 100 tons, and the super heavies. I am getting this feeling like I'm not going to want to do the super heavies and like the 200-pound Rackzillas or 200-ton Rackzillas much, because I just can't get the DPS for the weight. If I'm going to be doing a 200-ton mech, I want to do 2 times 100-ton mech damage, and I'm not doing that. What it is good for, of course, is defense. So you could certainly armor up a 200-ton mech and throw in something like heavy armor, or the new what was the S armor I just picked up, the carbide shell armor. Put that onto a mech and just have it be a bullet sponge, much like the Atlas is currently. But I don't take the Atlas out often because it doesn't have the DPS. Certainly up at the higher difficulty levels, if you're not pushing DPS out, you're not going to be killing things quick enough, either for the time frame that you have, which is not that many missions. There's a few. There's not that many. Or they're just going to hit you. There's so much stuff, You got to be able to whittle them down. So I got here now into Strata Mechany. We're taking a peek around to see what there was around us. Everything is above difficulty 10, which is not surprising for clan space. I come in here to look at the different pilots, and where I see a couple of interesting ones, Announcer's kind of an interesting guy there. The Wraith down below is the one we're going to take. These guys have already, like, he's got, Aswang already got a leadfoot skill, so he's primarily good for vehicles. I'm not really looking to do that. Cherry Bomb strikes me like a name that I'm familiar with, but I don't know it from. But Wraith has the same initial operative stuff that Gremlin does. So Gremlin and Wraith were both from the same thing, and she's got the DNI feedback, in being immune to that damage from a DNI feedback. Plus, she's got Assassin in there. These are some really, really good skill sets. Pain Shunt and Assassin, that alone is enough for me to hire this woman. So we're going to take her into the group and see where we go from there. I think, if I was going to do a high-end gameplay where I was really trying to push the bounds, I'd be seeking these operatives out. So now that I know where this one is, again, you have to fly all the way across the damn map to get to her. Unless she's randomly placed. I don't know if it's random or not. I'd have to start up a whole new campaign and then go over here and see if she's available. That would be an interesting thing to find out, is if these pilots are randomly placed or if they are placed at the beginning of the campaign and you just have to go find them. I also don't know. I don't think they get randomized from month to month like the missions do. So going to a planet, once you've seen what's there as far as pilots go, you're not going to find any other pirates. I do see that there is a BattleMech, a battle armor here with the Hargel in it, but he's all short ranged, so I'm not really going to go for a Toad that's short range. I also need to figure that thing out at some point in time where, what kind of vehicles do I need? What kind of mechs can I load up? It still isn't clear to me how I can figure out which ones are which. I tried to go into the files to look to see if there was a stat for the clamps that the battle armor requires. I couldn't find it. It may have just been that the ones that I looked at don't have them. But I did try to go into some things like APCs to see about the carry capacity, and I couldn't find the value within the JSON files. So I don't know about that yet. I haven't figured that piece out. Again, we found some ammo, and now that we know that ammo can be stored without a cost to our finances, I am much more willing to stock up on a lot of ammo. Like, for example, this half Gauss. A half Gauss is always good when you want to get that little extra piece in there for half a ton. It's not always available. When we look in here at the barracks, I think I'm going to have some training I still have to do. Yep. Pardon me. There's Gremlin. We're going to work up on the piloting. A little bit of gunnery, because she's also... I want her to be a melee mech pilot, but right now she's not doing that, so I need to get her gunnery up anyway. So that's why I'm working on that. Virago is still getting a little bit... She's not quite max yet, but she's getting there. And then, of course, we've got Wraith at the bottom, which we already did our training on. We're going to go here, take a look at the command center. This is the last thing we're going to do before we call this quits. I find that the difficulty range here is much more challenging than what I've seen before. In there, it starts at difficulty level 14, and it goes all the way up to difficulty level 23, I think. We can see in here, there's a few interesting things like that. That assassination mission looks kind of interesting to me. And as we scroll down a little bit, we can see there's some other battles going on, which, yeah, this looks like it's something I could do. When this thing rolls over to the next month, we're going to find some very interesting stuff there. So come back and join me in the next episode. Take care. Bye-bye.
Creeping through the shadows in the corners of your mind. I go with the wind blows. I run but I don't hide. I hear the call of the wild, whispering the name. No, I can't be tamed. My heart belongs to the night. I'm alone, I'm alone, I'm a lone wolf. 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 I'm a